Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind scrappywife.com. Today, let's get 2 faith planner spreads done at one time. As I said, I am working in my faith planner today. This is a big size faith planner, the horizontal layout from Plum Paper Planner. And I'm actually wanting to do 2 weeks at once, the week of July 3rd through the 9th and July 10th through the 16th. And I have one set of printables, and I want to show you how I can create 2 very different pages with this one beautiful set. This is the Wellness Bundle from Illustrated Faith. It was designed by Mary and Beth, and it is gorgeous, and I cannot wait to dig into it. So I will put you guys on fast forward. Printables are such a fabulous way to decorate your faith planner. You guys know that I love them, and we're going to kind of just get this done. Get 2 spreads knocked out at one time, always a huge plus. So I'll put you guys on fast forward. I will link everything that I use down in the description box below. Otherwise, let's go. All right, so we're going to start out by trimming out some of the images in this printable set. This one is all about wellness and making choices that align with your faith and that are good for you, which I thought was really a wonderful focus for me. Things have been crazy. We're still trying to figure out some sort of routine, some sort of groove for summer. And with vacations and visitors and all of that, wellness has gone like out the window. So I thought, you know what, even in my faith planner, this might be a really good focus or just some inspiration to start my day. So that's why I thought it would be such a good set. Because it's such a big set, that's why I wanted to go ahead and print out the whole thing and use it to decorate a couple of weeks at a time. It's one of my favorite ways to make sure that I'm actually using my printables is I go ahead and print them out as soon as I pick them up and then use them. Like, use as many of the images as you can. That is the beauty of printable images, because obviously you don't have to worry about using them up. There's no such thing as hoarding these because you can always print them out again. So if I'm able to use this entire printable or most of it, then I know that I like it and that it can be used again in all kinds of different ways. So that's the plan. I trimmed out all of these Polaroids. I love Polaroid pictures, and I also love decorating down the spine of a page. That's a great way to really add a lot of interest to your faith planner without taking up a ton of writing room, which is pretty important to me. I thought just the Polaroids would feel a little bit stark, a little bit too, I don't know, angled. And so I always love using things to soften up the edges. And in this case, these are some florals from the washi tape shop. PET tape, pet tape is all the rage because you get such beautiful colors with PET tape. So that's what I'm using. These are florals from, like I said, the washi tape shop. I do have a code with them that I will link down below. So if you want to shop there with the washi tape shop, it's fabulous. They have so many different kinds of washi tape. In fact, it's a little bit overwhelming, but I highly suggest their florals because I think they are absolutely beautiful. And I just cut these from the PET tape. Yes, it does have a sheen to it. It's a shiny tape, but it still kind of melts into the page, doesn't bother me. And I thought the florals poking out from behind all of these beautiful pictures of God's creation were just absolutely perfect. So that's what I'm doing, putting the florals down, and you can see big impact, does not take very long. Love using it, and it does soften the edges of the pictures really, really nicely. I'm able to trim out some of the excess that goes off the page, reuse it to bring some emphasis to the corners. I have fallen into a little bit of a routine with this faith planner. I often do decorations in the top left and bottom right to kind of anchor the page. Then I like to have some decorations that are in some different sections. In this case, I am aiming for the other corners. So we're going to go with the bottom left and the top right as well. And it always goes faster when you have a little bit of a formula. And in this case, that means using the floral washi or the floral PET tape behind the Polaroids. All of the really hard work has been done because those Polaroids are absolutely beautiful, beautifully done, wonderful reminders. So I'm going to add those in, and I already love the page. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to go and reinvent the wheel every time you're decorating your faith planner. For me, it's just a little bit of inspiration because this is where I start my day every day. First thing is when I do my Bible study and when I'm able to pop open my faith planner, see some gorgeous decorations, see beautiful artwork that I can appreciate, then it really is a strong start to the day. Last little thing I'm going to do here is add some washi. This is some wonky grid washi from Illustrated Faith, and it's pretty thick, so I'm going to tear it in half and just add a few little bits here and there to bring in this like bright coral orangey color, which I just think goes pretty nicely, and it just brings the color through the page without, again, taking up much writing space, which is pretty important to me. I started with these 3 strips. I needed a little bit more, so we're going to add one here, and then in the interest of keeping it with odd numbers, let's add the last little bit over here. That's pretty much it for this page. All I need to do, cut it apart, repunch those holes, which I will do at the end. And now I can do the first week again. Same printable set, a whole different look. How sweet is that? All right, let's pull out the next one, grab some printables, and start cutting out a few more. Beloved Society girls are my absolute favorites, which is why I was so happy to see this collab between Beth and Mary. I'm going to cut out some of these cards. Now, it's pretty big. That card is pretty big, but I love the tone it sets for the page, and I love that it has a verse that I could focus on throughout the entire week. That's absolutely perfect. And I'm going to anchor it in the bottom right with something that's just as big. Does it take up a little extra writing room? Yes. So that part I'm not pumped about. However, one of the things I love about faith planning is that I can always pop in some extra pages. So if I do find that I don't have enough writing room for that particular Monday, I just grab a piece of filler paper, pop it right in, and then I'll have some more writing room for notes. And I can do that at any point, which is one of the beauties of the disc-based system. All right, again, I'm working on balance here, adding something to the left, adding something to the right, a girl up in the top left, a girl in the bottom right. It's all about finding that balance, which can be hard in this particular layout because the top left ends up feeling so heavy. I like to fill that up completely. The way I kind of displace some of that weight is by placing images around the page, kind of keeping your eye moving and making sure I have plenty of weight or plenty of large images over on the right side as well. So we're going to add a couple of these. I decided to go for that green and blue color scheme throughout this, and again, I love bringing in washi tape just to add a little something extra. So we're going to use that to as kind of a base for where some of these images are going to be, and we'll end up adding it up top as well as I start to kind of layer these pieces together. Printables just make decorating so easy, and I love that you can print them out over and over again. Sometimes they're challenging to organize. We've actually been spending time organizing over on Patreon this month, getting our space overhauled, and this week printables is one of the things we are talking about because there's all kinds of different ways to not only get them printed out, get them organized, but making sure you're using them and that you're getting the most for your money. Because if you're not printing them multiple times, if you're not using the images multiple times, then you're really not taking advantage of some of the best parts of owning these printables. So if you're interested in checking that out, head on over to Patreon because printables are on the docket to get organized this week. All right, last thing I got to do, get all of these pieces down on the paper. You can see I'm just trying to make sure that there's washi with each of them, trimming off the edges just so that it's all nice and neat, and then I will need to re-punch the holes as well. I do like how this ended up coming out. I think it looks really nice. I love that you have one printable set, 2 very different looks, but a really easy decorating process, getting things ready to go in my faith planner. And I cannot help myself, there's a little scrap that is super pretty, and you know what, I'm just gonna add some adhesive on the back, pop that in right here. I know it overlaps, but I love that little pop of green there at the top. Trim that out. And this page is about done. Last thing I need to do is re-punch some of the holes. I'm actually going to use my We Are Memory Keepers disc punch for that. I've just found that it works really well. So that's my favorite punch to use in these situations. I'll get that all cleaned up, and this one's done. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. Just like always, I will link all of the supplies that I used down in the description box below, so you can feel free to check those out. I also want to give a huge shout out to all of my Patreon members. Like I said, July is an organization overhaul. We are dealing with all kinds of craft supplies in our craft rooms, getting them organized, getting our spaces in order, ready to inspire us for the rest of the year. It's never too late to join us, so head on over to the link in the description box and go see what Patreon has to offer. I promise you won't regret it. All right, I hope that all of you have an absolutely fabulous day. And as always, keep it creative.